Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Night of the Demons 2. So first things first, I'm going to give you all my overall opinion of the movie, and I'm telling you what, I thought this movie was absolutely awesome. I was a huge fan of it. I just thought it was super entertaining and overall a great horror film. So Night of the Demons 2, it's great. It's thebomb.com. So now that I've given you all my overall opinion, I'm going to jump into a quick plot summary. So this film takes place 6 years after the events of the first film, and we learn that all of the teens' bodies from the first film were recovered except for Angela's body. So there's this whole feeling like she might still be haunting a whole house. Nobody knows. But anyways, her sister, Angela's sister, whose name is Melissa, but everyone calls her Mouse, and she's just like relentlessly bullied. She goes to this Catholic boarding school, and there's this whole Halloween dance that's supposed to be taking place. But there's this one girl. She's kind of like out of like the main cast of characters. She's kind of like the bad girl. She's like on this tennis court, and there's this guy is like messing with her. She puts like this basketball between her legs, and they start like wrestling around, kind of groping each other. And the head nun sees that. She's not having it. So she like bans this girl from the Halloween dance. So this girl who gets banned, her name's Shirley. She decides to have her own party, like throw her own party, and she throws it at Hull House, which is like the funeral parlor from the first movie, and she invites Melissa or Mouse there, like because they're gonna prank her. And basically, while all the teens are at Hull House, Angela is awakened, and she begins possessing people and basically turning them into demons, and people start dying and all that crazy stuff. So that is the basic plot summary. So the something I'm just jumping into likes first. So the first thing that I liked about this movie is it was way less isolated. For the most part, yeah, it did take place at Hull House, but before that, there's like a lot of scenes at the boarding school. Later on, there's some scenes at this Halloween dance. The movie has like a much larger variety of locations, and it has like less of an isolated feel. I feel like there was more world building. There was like a lot. They took more time for us to get to know the characters. We got to settle in. We got to see all the inner workings of the different characters' relationships and where they go to school, and there was a little bit more world building, a little bit more character development. These weren't complex characters by any means, but I felt like we got to know them more. So that was very nice. The whole movie had a sharper look. I said in my review of the first Night of the Demons that the Hull House was very dark. Hull House looked way better in this. It was lit better. There was there were a lot better set dressings. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the comedy in the first movie. This one once again did have a lot of comedy, and I thought the comedy was great once again. There was a ton of nudity in this, and there's some beautiful women were showing off their their parts. So I wasn't mad at that by any means. That was cool. The practical effects in this, I thought the practical effects in the first one were good. The practical effects in this were even better. They're fantastic. Just one notable kill that I really like. There's this one guy, I believe his name was Kurt. I could be wrong, but he got decapitated, and it's just like splattery. There was like blood squirting, and then later on, he's, demonically possessed, and he's like playing basketball with his own decapitated head. I mean, that's great stuff. So yeah, there was a lot of other instances, but I don't want this video to be like, 10 hours long. So that's just a little example. Jumping into something else that I liked. So like later on in the movie, when everyone is trying to like band together and fight these demons, the head nun, she like suits up and gears up to fight the demons, and they do this kind of like action movie montage sequence where she's putting on her full nun outfit, she's loading up squirt guns with holy water, she's loading up water balloons with crosses on them with holy water. They had this whole montage with her like gearing up to fight these demons. That was absolutely hilarious and also kind of badass. And then she turns into a badass later on. She's straight like fighting the demons. Like she goes hard. So yeah, the head nun is not to be messed with. She does not play around. But yeah, I liked that whole montage with her, gearing up to fight these demonic entities. And then another thing that I liked was the way that people get possessed in this was totally different than in the first movie. And it was almost like the demonic essence was like sexually transmitted. Like every instance where someone is being possessed, like there's almost like a sexual action that has to take place in order for the demonic essence to be like transmitted into their being. And I thought that was like wacky, but I like in a good way. Like I loved it. I'm like, what the heck is I'm like I didn't know what the heck I was watching, but I was into it. I was like, this is crazy, but in the best way. Like I like, when movies get weird with stuff, and I was like, yeah, this is crazy, this is awesome, but it totally like fit with the tone of the movie, and it wasn't too over the top, like it wasn't too goofy or silly, like it kind of worked, but it was like memorable. So yeah, like there's this one, like the first time Angela is possessing someone, she's like just basically having sex with this guy to possess him, and then later on she's like possessing this girl, and she makes her lipstick into this like giant red worm. And I'm not making this up, guys. The lipstick worm thing goes up this girl's vagina and basically like has sex with her, and like that's how she's demonically possessed. And then later on, I think it's that girl, her like I'm not making this up. Once again, her breasts turn into these like arms with these hands, and they're like grabbing this guy and like attacking him, and then they like that's how that guy gets possessed. So yeah, there's a lot of like sexual stuff going on, but I mean some of that like stuff I was just like, what am I watching? Like what the heck? Like I'm like, is this real life? Like, cause when the lipstick worm thing initially looked like a penis, I'm like, is this supposed to be a penis? And then like once the lipstick worm proceeded to crawl up this girl's vagina, I'm like, yo, like they're really going for it in this movie. Like they don't give a F. Like this is wild. But I was here for the wild ride. Like I wanted I was like, let's go. Like, I mess with it. And then yeah, once the girl's breasts turned into arms and started attacking that gentleman, I'm like, this movie rules. I'm like, this is crazy. This is wacky. This is wild. But I don't know. It works. It works. I don't know why. I can't explain it. I can't put it into words. But if you watch this movie, it just works. So maybe that's a cop-out explanation, but that's my explanation. So yeah, that was the last thing I wanted to touch on because I don't know. I just thought it was absolutely crazy, and I had to mention it. So yeah, basically, I've said everything that I wanted to say. Now I'm gonna get into a recommendation, and then I'm gonna peace out. So in terms of a recommendation, I'm telling you what, I really had a good time with this movie. It was super entertaining. The effects were top notch. The comedy was on point. It had a sharp look. I would definitely recommend this movie. Like, I rented it on Amazon. I would say this is like I think it was like $3. I legit think this is worth like paying $3 for. I would buy this movie if it was like cheap. If I could get this movie for like 10, $15, I would buy it. So Night of the Demons 2, I would definitely recommend it. It's a great horror film. Great film to watch in October. If you haven't seen Night of the Demons 2, check it out. So that has been my recommendation, and that has been my review of Night of the Demons 2. Thank you all very much for watching, and peace out.